Nye McGee with EURweb.com. Emily, Andre, a pleasure to speak with you about this very exciting reality series, Vanderpump Villa. Lisa stays busy, doesn't she? Now she's taken the drama and the action to a villa. We cannot wait. So my first question is for Andre. I know you are the resident mixologist. So what was the most exhilarating aspect of being a mixologist at Vanderpump Villa?
I would probably have to say just the details and the presentation. If you know Lisa, you know that she has her specific details, and her presentation means everything to her. So as a mixologist, being able to deliver that was fun, but it was also a challenge as well, because you're like, oh, okay, sorry, I missed that. I didn't know have to have four ice cubes, but it was put in three. So small things like that. But it was amazing. It was amazing. I've learned so much, working for her as a mixologist, and yeah, so I'm glad. I'm happy.
Follow-up question for you, Andre. Are you serving up any signature drinks? Did you bring Andre's signature mixologist style to the show?
I did. I won't tell you the name though, so you just have to wait for that. But I definitely did, and I had to bring my own style for a little bit. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't.
For the beautiful Emily, how did the reality of working as a housekeeper on this series compare to your expectations going in to the show? And were there any surprises along the way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm currently still housekeeping now. This is what I do for a living. I clean. So going into the show, I thought I was prepared. I go, this is gonna be great. I know what I'm doing. And sometimes there were some needs that were asked upon us by the guests that I was not expecting at all. You'll see we have some requests that are a little out there, but other than that, I felt very confident in being able to do my job well, just because it is a job that I truly do in real life. So with that in mind, I went into it very confidently.
What do you believe sets this experience apart from other upscale establishments?
I think the fact that the guest experience, it's such a unique experience because it's not a ton of people, it's like a small, intimate group, and each group is celebrating a specific, event or surprise or anything like that. And the way that they're able to interact with every single different, the way they go from the bartenders to the servers to the housekeepers, to our manager to the chefs, they interact with all the different sectors of the house, and that's not what you would do in a normal everyday, experience. You wouldn't talk to the chef normally. Majority of the time you go out to a hotel, you go stay somewhere, how long are you interacting with the housekeeper for, if you really think about it? But this experience is so different because I was actually able to talk to people and get to know them. And working in a back of house position, I don't get to do that a lot. So this was really, really nice to be able to actually form a connection with each of our groups. And because, again, it was such a small group, it was nice to actually be able to know everyone's name and know where everyone came from and get to know them on a deeper level than you would at any other, everyday banquet hall or establishment or anything like that.
Every event and everything that we did was very curated to what the guests were celebrating or what the guests needed, and it was curated at a very high level from Lisa. And I would just say it was at a very high level, and I wish I was on the other side every single time we did something for the guests. So,
how do you think your position, your title, and your personality adds to the overall ambiance of the show?
it's just real authentic. Being a mixologist is authentic. They have to see like, hey, you have to have these conversations with the guests, and you have to entertain them, because you're kind of like the first line of defense. You're in charge of making sure they kind of really have a good time. It can be one bad drink that can go wrong, and they don't ever want to come back down to the bar again. And now they don't even want to have fun, things like that. So you get to see that, but you also see the raw emotions of it too, because it's not always easy at all. Sometimes we as mixologists, our social battery kind of goes out, but we can't ever show that, but because that's our job. And so you see the raw emotions, but you see growth as well. Like I said, the little details. I became to be an expert at that. So yeah, I hope that's what they get to see.
As someone behind the scenes, as the housekeeper, can you tease at any juicy secrets or unexpected interactions that unfolded among the villa's residents?
I was about to say, people, that have worked in back of house positions know that you get all the tea. That's where the real intimate conversations happen that the front of house doesn't see all the time. So honestly, there were times, I can't say with which gets, but you'll definitely see times with the fellow housekeeper Grace and I getting into some very funny, very serious conversations with certain guests, very like girlfriend talking at a sleepover type conversations we have with some of the guests. And it was fun, honestly. That's one of the best parts about doing the back of house positions. It's sometimes the guests just trust you more. They're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go talk to that one secretively," and it's a different experience that you get. And I'm really excited for people to see the interactions that the housekeeping staff had with the guests versus the servers or the bartenders or the chefs had with the guests, because it is so different from one another. And I think that's one of the best parts of the show is you get to really see every single aspect of the chateau. The biggest impression is just how relatable it's going to be to anybody who has ever worked a day of their life in hospitality. And that's the best part of the show. They are going to, like, to some people who have never worked in that field before, they might think this is crazy, but anyone that's worked in it's going to be like, yeah, that's happened before. Or like, this is so real. Like, I completely understand what's going on. So I think just the impression of these are real people, this is really happening, and this is so relatable. And at the end, I think they're going to end up caring for each of us. I hope. But I think it's going to be an amazing series for everyone to watch, and I'm really excited.
How did some of the drama impact the interactions with your co-stars on the show?
Like Emily said, if you worked in this industry at all, then there's always going to be drama, and then you're going to find yourself in the middle, or as the middleman majority of the times, or sometimes, or you're going to find yourself on the leading end of it. And so I think everybody has a part where, at some point of the season of the series, that you're going to have the drama, and it's not nothing planned, and that's what's unique about the show. Is everything is raw, because, like I say, we are living with strangers, and we are working with strangers, and we're trying to do one job, and that's a challenge. And so everybody gets to that point where, hey, I can't take this anymore, like in a bad and good way, as far as, like, what, I'm about to say something, or what, I'm done saying anything, I'm just gonna, relax and chill. So it's up and down, but that's raw emotions for you. So that's what we want the viewers to see as well, raw emotions.
What are you most excited about? Vanderpump fans? Lisa comes with a massive fan base, obviously, and you
Yeah.
all are part of this new show of hers. What are you most excited about fans and newcomers experiencing when this series drops?
I'm so excited just for everyone to get to know us. I feel like all of us were so authentic in the way we represented ourselves on the show that people are really going to walk away from the series thinking, I know that person, that's who they are. And that I'm so excited just to see the fan base, see if they like me, see if they don't. I'm excited to see everyone's opinions. And I don't know, I've never done something like this. So this is very like exciting for me. The whole thing I'm really excited about.